That is the Helsinki Cathedral. Guys, I spent a week in Finland and it really surprised me. Now, I'm not going to tell you that like my review of Finland is going to give you anything different from what's already out there, but there are a couple things that I experienced that I was just genuinely surprised that I had never heard anybody talk about before. So let's get into it. So first question, and this is always the question that I answer first on these videos, is why the country? Why Finland? And I don't really have a good answer. I mean, I could always just be like, why not? I mean, you know, Finland, I think, was technically my 10th country. And there's all kinds of countries I haven't been to. I mean, I'm of primarily Irish and Mexican ancestry, and I haven't been to any of those countries. So I jumped all the way to Finland instead of going to, like, Ireland or whatever. By the way, yeah, pretty good sweater. I was specifically looking for, like, one of the hockey jerseys. But I saw this and I'm like, it's got the flag, it's got a crest, it says Finland. I would have liked it a little bit more if it said Suomi, which, for those of you who don't know, is how you say Finland in Finnish. So why Finland? I mean, I think I always thought it was a pretty cool place. I've always been really fond of cold weather. It's always felt like a country that has their shit together. People are really happy. You know, surprisingly, a lot of kind of tech companies are based out of Finland, a lot of scientific advancements and all that sort of stuff. And it always just felt like a cool place. And, you know, being an American and growing up in America and LA, not a lot of people went to Finland. And if there's one thing I like doing, it's showing interest in something that the people around me aren't necessarily showing interest in. So getting there. So we flew from LAX all the way to Frankfurt, Germany, which was actually my first time being in Germany. And then from Frankfurt, we flew to Helsinki. I didn't know this. There technically are direct flights from LA to Helsinki, but I think they only occur on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And we went on a Friday. It's just easier with, you know, my work stuff, and I was going to be completely off. I was going to give myself the vacation and all that stuff. So Helsinki Airport, I mean, it's a really good airport. I don't know if I'm making this up, but I think they're kind of known for like weirdly long escalators. Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was interesting to see. I mean, they just kind of keep going on and on and on and on. I don't know if I had seen one that long before. So it's really clean. I mean, easy to get in and out of. Apparently it's won a lot of awards for being such a good airport. And looking at it, I can totally see why. So we pretty, you know, easily got to our Uber and then, you know, went to our apartment. And as far as accommodations go, we stayed at a pretty nice apartment in the Kamppi neighborhood, which this kind of central part of Helsinki isn't really that big. I mean, you could pretty easily walk it. Helsinki does technically have a metro system, but you're probably going to be better off just taking the buses. And the buses are awesome. They run very frequently. They're on time. You can basically get anywhere in the city pretty easily. And I enjoyed it. I'll make another comment about the bus thing later, but about the area. Kamppi was very nice. I mean, the entirety of Helsinki, you know, for like a big city, I mean, it's not a massive metropolis. I think like 600,000 people or so live in the city, but it is still a European capital. And it was clean. It felt extremely safe. There weren't any homeless people. There was no evidence that there's like mass poverty. Again, I'm not telling you, I promise this is how Helsinki is. I'm merely giving my testimony as someone who was there for a couple weeks. And even so, one of our first nights there, I believe it was a Sunday night, we actually kind of just went all around walking. We went to, you know, through the central neighborhood, like past like the central train station, went to where the Helsinki Cathedral is, and we only bumped into like a few people. It felt completely dead, which is different from maybe like weeknights and stuff like that. But I was making the joke, you know, me and my girlfriend were making this joke to each other, and I'm like, you know, I rented out the entirety of Helsinki to you because look, like there's nobody around. And that just kind of became like a bit of a running joke over the course of the trip, and I'll mention it in future videos and everything. And also during kind of like our first night out on the town, we made a little contribution to the culture of the city. This is our architectural contribution to Helsinki. What should his name be?
I don't know.
Gerard, in honor of the hippo that couldn't come with us.
This is Gerard's cousin.
Cousin, but with the same name.
Yeah. This is Cousin Gerard.
Cousin Gerard.
Yeah.
But it's super calm, and at no point, at least again, between the two of us, at no point do you feel like sketched out or weirded out. Anywhere you go, it genuinely feels really, really safe. And I felt that way about Madrid. Genuinely. And if you watch that video, check it out. But this is kind of like on another level. This is like, you almost feel as safe as you do in your own house if you're walking around the streets of Helsinki. And that was extremely, extremely charming. Some people, I've heard some people say that like, you know, Helsinki can be kind of expensive and boring. I didn't necessarily find it more expensive than what I was used to. And I do see how if you are there for a long time and you're enduring the difficult winters where literally the sun rises at like 10 and sets at like 3:30, I can understand how that starts to affect you. I had a blast. Like, Helsinki is a place I genuinely would consider living if it were ever appropriate for me to do so given my situation. Now, Finnish people. I have a little show and tell and also just like a little anecdote. So me and Bertiga, we went to go see a movie at Finkino. It's whatever the location is that's like close to the central train station. And we saw the movie Crime 101. And we did this thing where we wanted to see a movie in every country that we went to. And concessions were really good, by the way. Finland, you guys have the best popcorn of like the 3 countries that we went to, which, you know, the other 2 were Germany and Italy, and those will be their own videos. Finnish popcorn's pretty good, and like the concessions at Finkino honestly impressed me. And I'm this like fat American, right? And I love my buttery ass popcorn. I love my soda. I love those comforts, right? And I don't know, Finland kind of satisfied those parts of me. So I was pretty happy. Like, Finland movie theater experience, you guys get an A. And anyways, at this movie theater, you know, there are moments during previews or during the movie where just like things get a little quiet, right? And I'm always the kind of person who like, if I'm eating popcorn, which is like a loud food, I don't really want to be chewing during quiet moments. It's not like the theater was that big, but guys, nobody was chewing. People like were only taking bites of their food when there was like sound to cover it up. And I know I speak for me and my girlfriend when that just feels like a lot more comfortable for us. I'm not saying people have to do that, but it's almost like this extra layer of respect. Like Finnish people are respectful. Like, you know, the buses were clean, the streets were pretty clean. You know, people don't talk excessively, you know, on public transport. No one plays videos like loudly or anything. At least that wasn't really what I got. And walking down the street, it's quiet and people are respectful. And I thought the drivers were pretty respectful of each other. I mean, there was a decent amount of honking, but like, I don't know. It's like those little things that you just kind of compare depending on like where you go and everything. So I have this book that my girlfriend got at, I guess, what would it be? The Kaupunki Museo. I'm probably getting that wrong. But it's in English and it's called Finnish Nightmares, a different kind of social guide to Finland. So I'm just gonna like open up to a couple random pages so I can like just tell you guys, you know, these are kind of like how Finns are. So this is the neighbor section. So this one says, when you want to leave your apartment, but your neighbor is in the hallway. I mean, guys, I mean, for all of us who are kind of introverts, I mean, or even if you're not an introvert, even if you just don't really like people, you guys relate to that, right? And then there's, you know, when you meet your neighbor more than once in a short amount of time. Yeah, it's a little awkward, isn't it? There's also sharing an elevator with a stranger, which is actually something I did today, and we both did the whole dance where we reach into our pockets when the door's closing and pull out our phones, so it's just that kind of distraction. Side note, but like, what did people do before phones with that? I mean, did they check their pocket watches? Did they like actually like make conversation? I know in general as a society we've gotten much more antisocial, but that's just, you know, it's like something I think about. Let me give you guys like one more at least. Ain't this true? When the weather is horrible, but the only shelter is occupied. We didn't experience this in Finland. I think we did in Germany. And, you know, I think that there are you know, some similarities, but there are some similarities between the two culturally. But like, that's just the kind of thing, right? Like, Finns are the kind of people who, I mean, generally introverted, respectful, maybe sometimes kind of feel bad for taking up too much space or making too much noise or being like a little bit too in your face about their existence. And my God, does that not describe me to a T? So maybe I found my people. So if you are a Finn and you find this video, number one, your country is fucking awesome. And number two, let me know what you think about that. I mean, obviously people aren't a monolith. There's always, diversity within personalities and everything. But I did find this to be like quite interesting. So on to some highlights here. So our first full day we were there, I kind of booked us for a trip to the Nuuksio National Park area. And within that general area, which is north of Espoo, which is also kind of like a bigger city that's next to Helsinki. It has kind of its own identity as a city, but it's right next to Helsinki, they're neighbors. And guys, this was extremely cool because it's this like little kind of park, and it's a reindeer park, and you get to show up. Price of admission includes like food that you get to give to the reindeer, and also it includes like a warm drink and a cinnamon roll, which over there they're called korvapuusti, and they're really good. It's not like a Cinnabon. I mean, this thing isn't going to be just like completely glazed and covered with icing, or it has like little like big pieces of like sugar, but it looks like salt. It's sugar, just so you guys know. And these are pretty good. I mean, my favorite korvapuusti, I'll get to the reindeer thing really quick, but my favorite korvapuusti was actually at a place that's a local chain called Robert's Coffee, which, if you don't know, the channel is called Vertigo, but my name is Robert, so I felt welcome. I mean, it's in English, Robert's Coffee. And that was actually my favorite korvapuusti in the entire city. Again, if you're Finnish and you think that's like a sacrilegious thing to believe, I'm sorry, but I really liked it. It was, it exceeded my expectations. So the reindeer park, it was really fun. I mean, I'd never really like fed a reindeer. I mean, I've been in situations where I've like volunteered with like animals and I've like kind of like fed them and stuff like that, but like not really reindeer. I mean, I'm from LA. When am I gonna see a reindeer? I'm not. And, they were super cute, friendly, obviously. They make associations where, like, they see people and they know they're going to be fed. And it was awesome. And the people were really cool. I think we're the only Americans. There were others, like, there were people from, like, Scandinavia. There were some French people there, some people who sounded like they had a Scottish accent or something. So I think we were, like, the farthest, we were from, like, the farthest away, compared to other people. It was cool. I mean, it was just an awesome experience. Funny little thing about that was... in the area, and I'm showing this on the screen now, like there's a campfire and different tables around the campfire, and you have the option for additional purchase to get a sausage that you can put on one of those sticks and then put the stick in the fire. Now your options are veggie or meat. Now they don't specify what the meat is, and I probably could have asked, but I suspect based on how it tasted that the meat was reindeer. So in kind of like a morbid sense, we fed the reindeer, and the reindeer fed us. Again, if you are familiar and you know for a fact it wasn't reindeer, tell me. I think it was, and I'm rolling with this because I want to put it on the video, and I didn't want to actually look it up. But great experience. I'd encourage you to, guys, I'd encourage you to check it out. It's not super expensive. After that, we went to IKEA. My girlfriend loves IKEA, and even though IKEA is Swedish, Finland is right next to Sweden, and we figured, kind of cool. And they had a cinnamon roll there too. The food was nice. I think I got fish and chips there, but it was great. I mean, going to a Finnish IKEA was cool. I got like a little plush bear. I don't have it on me as part of the show and tell, but literally if you go to any IKEA and you see the little plush bears, that's the same one that I got, okay? It's nothing like crazy exclusive. Another highlight, and this was one of the big things that I was looking forward to, was a hockey game. Now, we went to the Helsinki Ice Hall and saw HIFK, or HIFK, against Saipa. And before we went there, we went to Cafe Regatta and had some really good hot chocolate. People on YouTube had said, it was either average or some of the best hot chocolate of their life. I'm not a whipped cream person, so I actually got it without whipped cream. And guys, I'm here to tell you, it's good. I mean, I don't know if it's the best hot chocolate of my entire life, but it's good. It's worth it, and aesthetically, it's this little kind of hut, kind of cabin thing, and it's right on the water. And when we went, which was at the end of March, it's icy and snowy and just wonderful. And the Helsinki Ice Hall isn't too far away. Now, the hockey game was pretty cool. It wasn't kind of like a big sports arena, like kind of what I'm used to in Los Angeles. If you go to a Kings game or something. But it was nice. I mean, the concessions were fine. You know, maybe a little pricey. Gift store. I mean, it existed, but it wasn't kind of like a big store where you can just go in and browse. I got this hat, obviously. And if you're wondering what HIFK stands for, let me tell you. Let me just pull it up here. So HIFK, it's an abbreviation of the Swedish name Idrottsföreningen Kamraterna Helsingfors. It's Swedish? Guys, how is that not like a little bit of a scandal? Like, I know like Swedish is kind of like also an official language of Finland, but like that is the hockey team that represents the capital of your country. Why isn't it Finnish? I mean, I'm still a fan. They didn't win. Saipa was a bit better, and you know I think they won 5-2. Check out the highlights. Actually, technically, me and my girlfriend were sitting in the front row, so you kind of can see us off to the side if you find the highlights on YouTube or something. I like showing that. I did that for the Athletic game when we were in Spain, and it's cool. Traces of evidence that we were kind of in these places. But it was great. It was a really good experience. You know, hockey is a big sport in Finland, and Finland did just take the bronze at the Winter Olympics in Italy. So it was kind of cool to, you know, get to see that. And Saipa, they're from a smaller city, and their fans were really loud. The Helsinki fans, I don't know if it's just like this sometimes where the away fans really, really want their presence to be known, and they're just chanting and everything throughout the entire game. While the home fans, I mean, they're just kind of chilling. I mean, you're obviously outnumbering them, so maybe there's less individual pressure to be really loud. But where we were sitting was kind of a mix of both fans, and, you know, no one was acting too crazy. Alcohol is not allowed within like the seating area. If you get alcohol, you have to drink it kind of in the lobby. I didn't know that, but it's funny because we go to sporting events in other countries where people are just drinking beer after beer after beer after beer while watching the game in front of them. Another thing that I have to mention is food. Guys, this is one of the things that I had never heard anybody say when talking about Finland. Is that Finland actually has the highest concentration of buffets in the entire world per capita, right? Like, I didn't know that. That is so cool. I love a good buffet, and it's like, you know, when you walk down the streets of Helsinki, it's almost like every other restaurant is like Launas buffet, which means lunch. Launas is lunch. Launas buffet, 16 euros, 17 euros, which, you know, a lot of these buffets, again, it's kind of like all you can eat, and it's the equivalent of 18, 19 bucks. It's a good deal. A lot of Asian buffets, you get the feeling walking around Helsinki that like Finns are pretty into Asian food. And of course they are. Like, it's awesome. A couple of the buffets we went to were Asian. We went to one called Nanapo, really good. That's in Kamppi, and also, what's it called? Konnichiwa, which is also near the Kamppi area. And that was personally my favorite buffet of the bunch. I thought it had like the biggest variety. It was awesome. Sushi, different chicken dishes, rice, noodles. The iced tea weirdly was pretty good. Being an American, I don't necessarily know what I'm gonna get when I get iced tea in other countries. Stamp of approval there too. Although the biggest highlight restaurant wise was a place called Savoy. And Savoy, you know, you can see it if you're, you know, going down, I think what they call Esplandi Park, which it's one of probably the most just picturesque streets in Helsinki. And, you know, there's a building, you know, if you're coming from the center, it's on the right, and it says Savoy, and they have a cafe on the bottom floor. And you go up, and it's like the full restaurant, and the restaurant's like on the top, and you get a lovely view of the park. You get a lovely view of the city. It's really cool. And Savoy is an awesome, awesome restaurant. We did the tasting menu, I think 7 courses. I'm going to show some pictures on the screen. Dessert was really, really good. I would give them an extra stamp of approval for that. As always, these restaurants always offer us a cheese plate, which I love a good cheese plate, but we were both a little bit full. But it's next level. It sincerely. I mean, the gin and tonic was awesome. The, you know, I guess what they call like petit four, it's like those were awesome too. Just really great, really creative dishes. And our waitress was super nice. There's no chance she's gonna watch this, but she was like, "Oh, why'd you come to Finland?" And I'm like, "Oh, you know, just because, you know, always wanted to." And she's like, "Well, where are you from?" And so we're from LA. Turns out she lived in like Hollywood for like 10 years. which is wild because, I mean, I thought she looked pretty young, but her English was so good that you could have thought she was American, honestly. That restaurant was awesome. Another restaurant recommendation that people do talk about on YouTube is Cafe Ekberg. It is the city's longest still running cafe, I believe. It's also in like a cool, nice part of the city. We kind of did a buffet type situation there too. I also got a korvapuusti, and they fill up. I mean, Finns kind of, you know, all gather around and eat lunch around the same time, and then boom, the lunch rush is over. And I know a lot of countries are like that, but it's cool to see. It's cool to be part of it. It's cool to watch like these restaurants like go through these like cycles. That was awesome. I would also recommend the food hall. It was great. Buffet style stuff there too, in addition to Asian options. Salmon soup, you guys got to get the salmon soup. Reindeer dishes, wherever you can find a reindeer dish, obviously I am going to encourage you to get one of those too. And I know this video is already going on for longer than I wanted it to, but I have to talk about what was probably individually one of my favorite experiences on the trip. Guys, if you're going to Helsinki, Helsinki is kind of right on the southern point of Finland, and right across the Baltic is Tallinn, which is the capital of Estonia, where we also went. And so taking the ferry to Tallinn from Helsinki is extremely easy. You just go to the port of Helsinki, and you can either take, I believe, Eckerö, which I think is a Finnish company, or you can take Tallinn, which I think is Estonian. And guys, I can't really speak for the other one, but Tallinn is unbelievable. These ships are huge. They're like these luxury fucking boats, and they have like restaurants and a great view and a full store. There's like a full, almost little mini mall on this freaking boat, and one of the restaurants is like a buffet place, which we did coming back from Tallinn, which was really, really nice. And at that point we were so tired because we just kind of walked around all day. But guys, the boat in and of itself makes the journey worth it. It's super chill. Like, it's awesome crossing the Baltic. When it's winter, you get to like depart where it's like a little bit frozen and there's a bunch of just like sheet ice, and watching that, and I'm gonna show some of this stuff too. Watching that is like really, really cool. So Tallinn, you know, you guys are awesome. I had a great time, and I can't wait to be back. That was really cool. Tallinn itself, if you're looking for some kind of old world charm and you're a little bit disappointed because you're not getting it in Helsinki, Tallinn has it. The sort of like town square feels very medieval. And, you know, there too, people speak a lot of English, which I'll circle right back to that. But, you know, you don't really need to learn much Estonian. We went to the Tallinn Zoo while we were there, which was kind of cool. It didn't really look like any zoo that we'd been to before. I mean, it's like super, super flat and very much just like clearly integrated in the city. And so many goats. Tallinn Zoo. Why do you guys have so many goats? I mean, there were like, you know, plenty of other animals, but it was really funny. Again, like nobody was there when we went. Granted, it was pretty cold. It's probably like off season. They actually gave us a discount because we were going during the winter. So, you know, again, like I joked, oh, like, you know, I rented out the zoo for us, blah, blah, blah. But there were so many goats. I don't know if any of you guys are ever going to go, but let me know if you also have that observation. And so the language stuff, right? I did the full Finnish Duolingo course in preparation to go to Helsinki, which is short. You know, guys, I don't want you to think that it sounds impressive. I did the full Spanish course, which is actually like a big course and takes a long time. Finnish, you basically just get up to level 20. It's 2 units. And it's really funny because, you know, there are certain things that I know how to say that are kind of useless. And there are certain things that are kind of important that I had to actually look up and find for myself. Like, for example, I know how to say vado. Ilves on piilossa puussa. Okay, I know how to say that. But I didn't learn how to say, hey, pöytä kahtele, kiitos. Now, again, Finnish is kind of a brutal language, especially like coming from English. I think it's like one of the hardest languages to learn that like uses the Latin alphabet. They don't really do prepositions. They kind of build the prepositions into the words. So if you're talking about like something going to something else, something going away from something else, going on top of something else, being in something else, being with something, and sometimes the word changes make sense and follow a pretty consistent formula, and sometimes they don't. But it's really cool. And Finnish is cool. Think about like how like Matt Smith as a doctor was like, Fizzes are cool. My version of that is Finnish is cool. So I would encourage you to learn some anyways. I mean, I think it's a good way to just show respect for the place that you're going. You know, being able to like ask typical things. Finns aren't really going to resist speaking English. A lot of them do speak English. And actually, I think I read something that like 52% of Finns speak at least 3 languages. I mean, that's crazy. Like that's been like my goal is speaking 3 languages. I mean, English, I think I got a grasp on that. Spanish, I think I'm good. German, I think I want to be my 3rd, but I'm gonna stick with Finnish because I would like to go back. And also, again, Finnish is cool. And so I do encourage you, if you are in Helsinki, to also consider taking the trip to Tallinn. Tallinn is very nice and it's worth visiting in its own right. And also the boat is really cool and it's not even super expensive. And that will be worth it. Get yourself a drink, relax, and just watch the flow of the Baltic as your boat brings you to Estonia. Last big highlight, and I did save this for last for a reason, but guys, if you think about Finland, if you make some mental association, what are people going to think of? Saunas. Okay, and one of my complaints was actually Helsinki has kind of a Ferris wheel sauna, and it's really cool, but it wasn't going to be open again, I think, until April. So at the timing of this coming out, for all I know, it's open. But like, call me crazy, but how? Like, why wouldn't you have a sauna open in winter? They're like, oh, like we want it to be the right weather conditions. Unless it's not going to be like brutally hot. I don't know, because here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. And let me tell you this. Because if you're an American, I don't know if you've been in a sauna before. And so we went to Lulu, which is kind of the most famous sauna in the city. It's located right on the southern tip, and the Baltic is right there, right? They got a restaurant too. It's mixed gender, so, men and women go into the saunas, and you just kind of have to wear some covering, right? Saunas are crazy, dude. Like, I thought it was just going to be like a room that's like a little bit hotter than typical, just like enough to make you sweat after a little bit. Guys, these things are hot. Saunas are hot. And there's this crazy time. I know, if you guys are locals and you're used to it, you're going to think I'm being a big baby. And you probably have a point. But, like, you get, like, there's, like, this water in a jug, right? And you scoop the water with this thing, and then you, like, put it on, like, the rocks, right? It gets so hot. It's like breathing becomes, like, extremely taxing, and you just feel, like, the sweat coming out of your body. And I'm sure that has health benefits. I'm sure that's good for you. But it's crazy. I mean, we stayed in there for probably, like, 10, 15 minutes, which I was genuinely, like, really proud of us for doing that. And it's so cool, guys, because you walk out of the sauna onto the freaking deck at Lulu, and it's, like, 31 degrees outside, and you don't feel it. Like, you don't feel the cold. I stood there just with, like, a towel over me, and it was awesome. It was awesome. You got, like, ice all around you. Like, the part of the Baltic that brushes up against the coast is, like, frozen. And you feel good. But then here's the kicker. Is that they have a little ladder that goes into the Baltic. And it was, like, this one little spot that was wet and it was frozen around it. You had these people, like these locals who are going in like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. They just go in and these people are used to it, and that's so cool. If you're used to that, like the sauna and then Baltic dip and then back to the sauna or to the steam room, if you're used to that, you are officially cool. The Vertigo channel officially deems you extremely cool. I knew if someone ever like asked me about my trip to Helsinki, I wasn't going to tell them that I didn't go into the Baltic. So I did. And it's fucking cold. It's fucking cold. I got up to like maybe like right like here, and I was like, fuck this shit. And I just like went to the other ladder and like came up. Again, kudos to you guys who can do that. But I did get a Finnish sauna experience, sauna, and it was cool. It's a good story. I don't know if I would do it all the time. It's a little intense, but I think as a cultural experience, I mean, guys, you got to do it. It's something crazy, like there's more saunas in Finland than households or something ridiculous like that. Like you guys gotta do it. You have to. Honestly, I don't really have complaints about Helsinki. I think I did like a little kind of like negative thing when I did my Madrid video. But guys, Finland it's freaking awesome. And like you tell Americans like, oh, I went to Finland, and they're like, oh, that's so cool. How is that? Like people are so curious. People are really curious about Finland. And go. Guys, go. You know, Finland isn't the only cool country in that area, too. Estonia's awesome. The Baltics are awesome. Poland's awesome. Sweden's awesome. Okay, Germany's awesome, too. I'm going to make a video about that pretty soon. It'll probably be out by the end of it'll probably be out by the end of the month. But guys, honestly, if you want like a chill place that literally sometimes strikes you as a paradise because it's calm, Like, it's cold. If you like the cold, it's safe. The people are cool. The food's good. You like a good buffet, get the buffet. Go into the sauna. Go into the Baltic. Take a boat around. Enjoy a good public transportation system. Enjoy a good bus system, which is something that's hard for us to have here in America. Guys, genuinely, I have no complaints about Finland. I have none. Like, we were walking down one of the streets with like the shops, and someone was playing Zombie by the Cranberries. And like I cried. I didn't want to leave this country. I did not want to leave. And every moment that I'm not in Finland, I really, really, really want to go back. Genuinely. If the Finns find me, like the Spaniards found me from our last video, take care of your country. You guys have it good. It's so cool. I would really like to get to experience more of it. I'd like to go to Tampere. I'd like to go to Turku, Oulu. Finnish cities just are cool. And weirdly, like, I get to say that Finland and Chile are some of my favorite countries, and not that many Americans go there. And I'm not saying, oh, I'm the coolest person, look at me. But I like going to these places and getting to know them. It engenders emotion out of me. Like, go have fun, guys. Go see cool places. They're out there and they're waiting to be explored. So Finland's, you guys are an S-tier country. Like, thank you for existing. Thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for treating me and my girlfriend so well. That's it. That's all I got. Guys, there's going to be some different videos coming out in the summer. I'm doing more travel content, but I'll also be doing some other stuff too. I just hit 3K, so thank you guys for that. But Finland's awesome. Guys, please go. Please go to Finland. Oh, shit! I'm sorry. Okay, wait, I have a negative. Finns, you guys did not cook with salty licorice. I'm so sorry. I tried so hard to like it. I tried to see value in it. I tried to be like, well, if I grew up with this, I could see how this would be like a delicacy, or I could see how I would like it. It's not good. It's not good. I tried. I swear to God, I tried. But besides that, you guys are perfect. And also the long drink, the Finnish long drink, A+ on that. So I would say, drink the long drink, avoid salty licorice. But that's my take. Go explore things and do things how you want. Finland, you guys get an A+. Thank you guys. Thank you for 3K. And I will see you next time. Peace.